like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land, the Adnya Mantana people, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Good day, bushies, coming to you from inside the Ikara-Flindrs Range. Ikara meaning meeting place. The indigenous story of the land goes that the pound itself was formed by two akura, the two big serpent snakes that attended a corroboree here and proceeded to eat everyone at the meeting place, and then were so full that they lay down and willed themselves to death. Goats were a big problem here in the 1970s and 80s in the national park, and did a lot of damage to the native species and environment. It is sad that so many of them... Classic, little goaties, just read about your demise and here you are, fighting strong. These gum trees, bushies, can live for hundreds of years. In fact, they survive fire, drought, floods. They're pretty incredible to think how hollowed out they are, and yet can still be standing. As long as the nutrients go up to the top of the tree stands for hundreds and hundreds of years. The Pound Shuttle. So bushies were actually standing in a pretty significant geological area. In Western Australia, similar to here, they found the formation of these things called stromatolites, which actually was a mound of these domed structures in limestone bands that contained cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria, through photosynthesis, released oxygen into the atmosphere. Prior to this, there was no oxygen in the atmosphere. So over millions and millions and hundreds of millions of years, these creatures, like cyanobacteria, actually built the ozone layer, which then allowed complex life to form. And right here in South Australia, in the Ikara-Flindrs Ranges, we see fossils of those formations. So while our coals are getting nice and hot to cook our pot roast in, I like to keep the marinade pretty simple. This is free-range lamb that we bought from a local town, a local farmer. I like to coat it in oil, stick some garlic through it, and then I've just crushed some chilies, pepper, bit of salt, and I find what really gives it a bit of a zing is this nice cumin. So I tend to sprinkle that in and around the lamb, and really cooking that slowly over in the coals of the fire, that gives the best taste. Add your veggies, don't touch the pot. I like to sprinkle a bit of salt over her. Salt over the veggies. A little bit of flavour, cumin seeds. Really, less is best when it comes to a pot roast. The flavour enough is, to die for. And then a little bit of oil. Good to keep it lubricated. Don't want that getting burnt. Alright, bushies. Let's put that lid back on. Now, key part is to make some coals. So funnel out a few of your coals that are forming so they sit underneath. Some good ones here. Let's bring them across. Get a 360-degree bake. This is pre-convection ovens. So that's still a bit too hot. I don't actually want the flames to touch her. Bring that a bit out and we'll put some coals on the top. Remember, don't ever touch the pot. Okay. I never professed to be good at this, but I'll do try my best. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanna. Bit of heat for the top. I'll keep your fire going to the side. You want a constant supply of coals so you can keep feeding. Good pot roast. Look, I'd happily put it on there for at least 40 minutes.